Welcome my kings, queens, and the fabulous in-betweens to the Drama Club, where we sit back, drink our teas, and kiki about the latest queer media on our timelines. My name is Tati or Tatiana, and I'm the Drama Club hostess for today's video. If you like video essays with a couch potato, you're in the right place, and if you're not, consider popping over to my personal gaming channel where you can get more, or you can do both. Today we are talking about a show that started it all, but first let me tell you a story. So I mentioned in my last video about this Thai series. It was the first Thai BL that I had ever watched, and this was somewhere around 2015 to 2018, where it was much harder to find international content as a tween US viewer who was not, and still am not, very tech savvy. However, there was an app at the time that allowed me to find content overseas, like Thai series or Korean variety shows. This was an app called Line. With Line, it was basically WhatsApp or Kakao Talk that for some reason also had a TV app. All you had to do was put in some information like your name or your phone number, and voila, you had access to everything you could with ads. So after watching EXO's variety shows, I had stumbled across Lovesick on the app's homepage, and me being curious clicked on the show. Now, at first, it did not really gauge my interest for very long, as I wasn't very used to the Thai language yet, and it felt like everything was kind of going a little fast. And to be honest, the old editing style was very brutal to watch. So I stopped watching. Then, early in 2018, Netflix started adding more content that was tied to its catalog. This is when the goldmine of my interest came in. I watched a lot of Thai content between the time that all of this stuff was available on Netflix and Line and even on YouTube when the controversial favorite Darn Type came out. So let's talk about Lovesick. Lovesick is a Thai BL created in 2014 and is most notable as being one of the first in its genre after the 2007 Love in Siem. Lovesick is an adaptation of the original Thai BL novel named also Lovesick, The Chaos Lives of Blue Short Guys, written by In Dry Times. This show stars actors who I like to call the OG Papa and Mamas, which are actors like White, who's our main character, who plays in another favorite of mine in the Off-Gun series Theory of Love, Captain, who plays in Reminder S, Pinari, I'm sorry if I butchered your name, Pinari, who is a sponsoring role in Forever You, August, who just played in the remake of Addicted, and some notable supporting roles from Singh, who played Todd in Not Me, Top Tap, Samantha, and Michael from Pit Babe. This show is 2 seasons, but for the sake of this first video, we're just going to be covering season 1 as I've actually never seen season 2. By the time that I finished season 1 of this show, Netflix did not renew it for season 2 and it got removed. The rest of this video is a spoiler for Lovesick, so if you have not seen Lovesick, please stop, go watch it, and then come back. Another warning for the visual side of this video, this show is only in 480p. I could not find anything that was above this. I mean, it is an old show made in 2014, back when everybody was making their own TV shows on their phones and their tablets and really cheap cameras. So please give me some grace. I did try to upscale as many of the screenshots as I possibly could, but it might not look up to par, and I apologize. Lovesick explores the experiences of students attending an all-male college called Friday College. The series centers on the budding love story between No, the president of Friday's College Music Club, and Poon, the vice president of Friday College's Student Council. Episode 1. Episode 1 starts off with 2 girls running up a fancy staircase into a club. They worry about their appearance as they gossip about stealing the spotlight from the birthday girl. The club is packed, people are dancing and drinking when everything goes dark, and cupcakes with a bunch of candles is brought over to the birthday girl by a boy as they sing a happy birthday. The birthday girl, she looks very awkward, but she thanks everyone and makes a wish. Here we learn of our main characters. The birthday girl Aim and our main character Pun are dating, and it seems to be a pretty good relationship as they are teased by everyone about them getting married and having kids by Aim's friends. There's a live performance and everyone is dancing. We get a few cuts to a girl walking up to the venue parking lot where there's two people in a car who I can't tell if they were kissing or if they were just talking. But the girl yanks the other girl out of the car and questions her on who she is being with her boyfriend. They get into a little bit of a tussle. The girl, she's pulling hair, okay? The other girl, she's throwing purse hands, like with the purse, and the boyfriend breaks them up and tries to calm the main girl, who we now know as Mo. The boyfriend, for some reason, lays a hand on his girlfriend just to calm her down. They break apart and Mo heads into the party. Inside, there's a girl who looks very out of place standing next to the bar area. Two other girls come up to her and ask her who she is and, of course, start to tease her about her grades. Here is where we learn that, at least in episode 1, Friday College, or whatever the school is actually a high school. If you know anything about Thai and school attire, you know that in college they wear the white blouse and then the dark black pants or skirt. For some reason in this show, I'm not really sure why the college is called college, but maybe it is actually a college, but they do refer to themselves as high schooler, high school ages and stuff like that. So this girl, she's in 11th grade. I'd like to say that everybody pretty much at this party is in 11th grade, which is crazy because everyone was getting drunk off their faces. So I just want to preface that because that was a little confusing. I didn't really understand that part just yet, okay. But the girl that they are teasing, her name is Jeed, and when the two girls leave, she makes eye contact with the boy across the room and then looks a little defeated. Back to the golden couple, Aim and Poon. They're sitting together in a booth. They have a cute little banter before Aim's friend, Nongnan, who's drunk out of her mind, sticks herself into the conversation. Aim asks about Nongnan, Nongnan's boy and why he's not here with her, and she gets a little salty and stops teasing. On the other side of the booth, there's a girl who's trying her hardest to get her boyfriend to be cute with her too, but he is uninterested and he gets a call. It's a call from a girl, so jealous, this girlfriend snatches the phone away and answers. She tells the girl not to call again and gives her boyfriend the phone and gives him a lecture on what to do if another girl calls him. If someone flirts with you, you should tell them that you already have a girlfriend. We know these two characters now as Non and Yuri. Non scratches his head and we learn that they're not actually really boyfriend and girlfriend, and Yuri is really just stuck in the friend zone. Nongnan comes over to the two of them and starts nabbing at them about where this boy, Om, is. Nongnan drinks some more when she learns that Om is definitely not coming, and mid-sigh when Mo brushes past, she starts her own little drinking journey herself. She takes everyone's cup and drinks the entire of some sort of wine bottle. Through another door, there's another couple that comes in. They're very dressed up. They almost look like they're trying to overdress, outdress the main couple. And everybody is hating. I mean, everybody. Sitting by herself, Jeed is in her own mind, imagining herself giving a performance in front of everyone at the party with the two girls from earlier. It's kind of funny, but girl, she was out of her mind. She was out of her mind. Poor girl. On the stage, drunk as ever, one of the girls, Grace, she announces the results for who is the best dressed at the party. And it's Jeed, who for some reason was already standing on the stage. Grace crowns her and gives her a kiss as everyone is laughing and staring. Then Grace says, "Jeed, your hair and your clothes, they're so lame." She berates her and everyone just kind of stands around looking at each other. Jeed runs off the stage and we see a little clip of someone following after her. After another dance, the party starts to wind down and people head out. Mo is being carried out, and for some reason, everybody, like especially this one group of like boys who were sitting by the bus stop, literally crowd around her and watch as she throws up on a car. It's very odd. And Nongnan, drunk still, somebody hands her shoe, like her I think it was a heel or a flat. Somebody takes her, like I guess she slipped out of her shoe or something, and they handed her the shoe and was like, "Somebody's calling you." And she starts talking to the shoe. I just want to say I love me some Samantha. But back then, Samantha always used to get casted as like the drunk or like the horny girl. I don't know what it is, but for some reason she plays that character very well, and it's absolutely hilarious. Mo's very toxic boyfriend shows up and takes her up and away, and we see for just a little second there's another boy who kind of side eyes the boyfriend for a moment before joining back up with the group. The rest of the night is really just drunk babble. It's now Monday and we finally see everyone sober. Noel is with his crew. They're walking around, messing around with people when they're finally joined by Om. Noel tells Om that Nongnan was looking for him at the party, and it's very clear that Om doesn't want nothing to do with Nongnan. He says that he'd rather be sick and miss seeing her than be there at that party. Noel brings up an idea about the music club. They've been trying to get a faculty member to agree to starting funds for them to fund this club, but they were only able to get about 5,000 baht, which they need either, I couldn't tell, I'm not good with money, but sometimes it was saying that they needed 35 baht, 35,000 baht, but based off of the subtitles, sometimes it would say that they had 5,000 baht, but they had 5,000 of 4 or 40,000. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not good at math, I promise. But it seemed like they were asking for 40,000 baht, but they had the 5,000 baht. So it's somewhere between 35,000 baht and 40,000 baht. But in USD for 40,000 baht is $1,237. In the club room, Nan is questioned about the request fund by another student. They said that he messed up the order and now they don't have any money to buy new instruments. Back with Mo, her boyfriend is sitting on the couch playing video games as she tries to make peace with him, asking about like, what do you want for food? Like, what can I get you? He gives her very dry answers, and to be fair, if I was Mo, I'm not asking him what he wants to eat, okay? He should be asking me what he wants to eat because that's crazy. But he's giving her dry answers, and then he starts to babble on about all these different foods that he wants her to go and buy for her. And it's just a whole lot of BS. And Mo is just like, if you want all of that, just go get it yourself. And he retorts and he says, well, I'm not feeling very well. I have a headache. He is such a diva. Their banter, it turns into an argument when Mo starts to ask about the girl from the party again. He literally gaslights her and is like, what girl? There was no girl there. Do you have any proof that there was a girl there? And once taking the controller back from Mo that she took, he starts playing his video games again. Mo gets a call from her mom, who's right downstairs waiting for her. She hurries up to try and cleans herself off and then like tidy up a little as she rushes out to go and meet her. It's very clear that the mom does not know that Mo is staying with her boyfriend because as a little young couple comes by, they're holding hands. The mom literally is like, these young couples living together, it's not normal. Where are their parents? Literally clutching her pearls. It's hilarious. But yeah, she clearly does not know about this boyfriend. While walking up to the apartment, Mo's mom runs into a friend of hers and her son. Her son's name is Golf, and she is moving him into the condo so that he can be closer to school. Mo's mom asks Golf to look after her daughter, and they move on. Back at the school, Noah is rushing to go meet with the student council. When he gets there, Pun is hiding underneath a desk and just pops up. Pun is the secretary, and Noah asks him to help out with the club budget. Pun pulls out a file, and they find out that Noah didn't mess with the money at all, but when he sent the request down to student council, he sent a 10th grader who was delivering the request and got bullied by the other clubs into reducing the budget. And that is episode 1. So just a quick little review and my thoughts on episode 1. Now this, going back in time in 2025 to go back and watch the show, it's very different. I almost forget my origins. Like, I almost forget we've been so spoiled in 2025 with all these amazing shows and just how everything just looks so perfect. Well, not everything, but like the aesthetic and just the themes and everything. It was kind of crazy to go back and watch the show and see like where we have started. Like, it's kind of crazy, but I will say there is a lot. So this episode is only 37 minutes, but there is a lot of like dancing montages. And it gets it like, it's like almost like a mini music video, which I do remember those. I do remember in a lot of just, and this wasn't just a Thai thing. Like if you were a Disney person, you know that like in Big Time Rush, there would be just that random cut where they start to sing and it's like a whole like 3-minute song. And that's kind of what they were doing here in this show. And it did kind of seem a little out of place, but to be fair, that's kind of how it was, especially when it was a show about a music artist or something like that. I know they did that a lot in Tharn type because of Tharn being a singer or whatever. He was in a band or something, right? I was going to say guitar, but I specifically remember he was doing the drum pad thing. So I'm pretty sure he was a drummer. But either way, they loved to do that back then. So that was a little bit like, that took up a lot of time. I think generally without those parts, this episode was about like maybe 24, 25 minutes. But for 24 and 25 minutes, I will say there was kind of not... There was a lot of information, but not a lot of information. Like, there was a lot where it was like, there are things that I feel are important, but they're not really elaborating on it. And things also that I picked up in this first episode that I'm like AIM, for an example. AIM, the birthday girl, she seemed like she was not interested in that birthday at all. She almost reminds me, and this might be a spoiler, so spoilers for Triage. She almost reminds me of the girl from Triage. And I can't remember his name. I'm so sorry. But the boy from Triage, the other main character, they remind me, or Aim and Poon remind me of the two from Triage, where like the girl, it was her birthday and she's just kind of like, I don't really care about this. Y'all are throwing this party. Shout out to y'all, but I don't really care about this. And that's kind of how that like looked. Like she looked very uncomfortable. She, other than that first scene and the scene where her and Poon were dancing, she was sitting down the entire time. It was so like, she looked like she just didn't want to be there. She didn't look like she was having fun. We didn't see her eat nothing. We didn't see her drink nothing. She just looked uncomfortable. She looked very uncomfortable. So I want to definitely know what that was about. I also really like Jeed. I think she is adorable. Poor girl. She is adorable. And I think that I definitely resonate with her sitting at a party, just daydreaming because ain't nobody want to talk to you. Or you just sitting there with your drink. Like she looked like she was just in La La Land, and I resonate with that. So I really like her. Other than that, I will say that the school part was a little odd. Like it was like we saw a little bit of the school culture, but it was just like not much. Like just messing around with people and just like, y'all are in 11th grade, tighten up. Tighten up. Like they acting like kids and like touching on people and like it was just weird. It was just little boys. What? It was just a little weird. And I was gonna say boys will be boys. That was a little tongue twister there. My bad. But for this episode, I am going to rate it at I'll say that it's like right now it's at a 2. It's at a 2. Like too much, not enough happened for me to be like, oh my gosh. You know, and I want to say I definitely don't remember this whole intro. Like I don't remember them being at the club. Mind you, it's been quite some time. It's been 11 years. So I mean, I just don't remember that. I don't remember that, and it was just kind of jarring. I was like, oh, this is what happened. Like this is but very interesting, and I definitely do want to like see how Poon and Noah how do they end up where they're gonna end up. It's very interesting. It's definitely giving I'm not gay, you're not gay, but we're gay. Like that's where it's heading. It's literally it's kind of heading in like darn type territory where it's like, you're gay, but I'm not gay, but I'm gay for you. If you know anything about darn type, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's just like, it just doesn't, I don't see any romance right now. I mean, obviously it's episode 1, but it doesn't seem like, I'm very interested to see where this turns. But also there's a lot of supporting characters, lots of supporting characters. That's not really a thing now unless you're watching like a GMTV, We Are, or Perfect 10 Liners. It's really not common anymore for there to be like multiple other couples that are like main, like not just like the characters who are off on the side and they just, you know, they do their own thing type of thing. Like, no, like they are also main characters. It's kind of like what I was talking about earlier about the underwear. The underwear, it follows, and the underwear, it sounds so weird when I say the underwear, it's a website. It's a show about them making like a Gossip Girl like type of website, and the underwear is just what they called it because it was like exposing, like, you know, like exposing the truth and stuff like that. So it's not weird because I know that the name makes it sound weird, so it's not weird. But the underwear was like very interesting because it was like following the different stories. Like, hey, this person, it kind of reminds me of that what is that Disney movie with Zendaya and Bella Thorne? I forget what it's called, but where they are like reading off like certain like Reddit questions, like, oh, this thing happened to me, tell me what to do, and it'll show you like what this person did to resolve like what the problem was or like what happened. It's kind of like that. The underwear was kind of like that. So you got there was different storylines happening, but they were all happening simultaneously. Not that it was like, hey, this side couple has this going on and this side couple has this going on either. Like, no, they weren't. Everybody was like the main character. And that's kind of how this show is doing it. Everybody's the main character because we definitely saw way more of everybody else than we did with Na and Poon. But I think partly is because, you know, Poon and Na right now are in other like relationship situation things. So I think it's gonna take them a little bit to get them separate from those situations and then come together, which I'm very interested to see how they are going to come together. So yeah, that is episode 1. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a second for episode 2. Episode 2. We're brought back to the same spot that we left off when Poon explains that there is another way for Noah to get his club fund back up to 65,000. Noah asks what, desperate to do anything, when asks him to be his boyfriend. Noah tells Poon to go for himself, and we cut to Noah aggressively smashing buttons on a controller at an internet cafe with the rest of his friends. Another one of his friends, who is a really, really young buzzcut Michael from Pit Babe, looks so adorable. He tells Noah that is coming soon and that they're headed out somewhere to go and meet with some girls. We finally get to see Jeed, and she's running off to a dance practice where she bumps into Nongnan. Nongnan and her friend question Jeed about being in the drama club and wonder if she's worried about what happened at the party since Grace and Nim are also in the drama club. Jeed tells them that she's okay and that it doesn't bother her anymore. So Nongnan gives her encouragement and Jeed leaves. At the club, the girls are already fighting with each other when Jeed shows up. The other girls are struggling because they don't remember the old dance routines, and they ask Jeed if she remembers. Of course, Jeed slays the choreo and the girls are very impressed. Jeed finishes up and starts to walk with Grace and Nim as they praise her dancing. They have a quick conversation about where Jeed lives, and it seems like she might be lying about where she resides. But she shuts them down when they ask, and they get distracted by a group of boys. Grace says that one of them asked her for her number, and she texted him, but he never replied. Same girl. Same. Of course, the boys, they're all geeked up though, and Grace says that the guys from the Friday college are the kind of guys that you want to have as your baby daddy. Grace finally apologizes to Jeed about the party, and she even calls her pretty and says that it's not really bad if she hangs out with them. Some sao soy, 3 pretty girls, and calls them the Charlie Angels. Jeed appreciates it, and Grace says they need to give her some sort of initiation. Back with the boys, they all see Jeed and her new friends walking around when one of them stops in his tracks. This is Calm. He's awestruck, and he tells his friends that he really wants to go and talk to Jeed. They tell him that he needs to just go over there and get her phone number, but he needs to do some things. He needs to change his name because Calm is too lame of a name, and quote, girls dig that stuff. Noah tells him that all the rest of their advice is stupid and horrible, but he pushes him to her anyways. Unfortunately, as he starts to walk up, the boys from earlier grab Jeed and Grace and Nim's attention first, but all hope isn't really lost because Calm still sticks through, and he tells Jeed that they met at the party, and when Jeed asks his name, he tells her Calm, but then it changes it and says, no, it's Sharp. She gives him her phone number, and he even asks for her Facebook as well. The boys are geeked. Back at Mo's, Mo is trying to work up the courage to knock on Gulf's door, but it turns out that he's not even home yet, and he catches her out in the hallway. They sit on the stairwell, and Mo offers him a Kit Kat. It's here we learn that the two already actually know each other, and now both of their parents know each other, both moms and both dads. And Mo is worried that they're going to find out that she has a boyfriend. Gulf says that he's not going to say anything and that it's not really his business. He even says that he might as well just like boys. Mo tells him to keep his word and then leaves. At Noah's, his mom is giving their maid yoga lessons for some reason. When Noah enters the room, Noah's mom sees a news headline. I want to say it was 2 men getting engaged. And she says, there's so many women out there, but they chose to be with other men. In a little daydream on the TV, Noah sees him and Poon, and he's really gagged. He's really stunned. He gets a little upset and he leaves. With Poon, he's looking at Instagram posts from the party when he gets a call from AIM. No is outside and he's driving on his moped when he shows up outside of Poon's house. He sees Poon outside on the phone and he flags him down. Poon opens the door and Noah asks him to confirm what he said earlier. And Poon straight up says, "Yes, I asked you to be my boyfriend." Noah is confused and he swears that Poon is really just messing with him, but Poon is standing 10 toes. Non says that he's just gonna go, but Poon stops him and says that he didn't really mean it that way. Poon explains that he just needed a favor and to come inside the house. He drags Noah inside of the house and they sit by the pool. Noah asks Poon about what he really meant about asking him to be his boyfriend, but Poon is just like, "I really need you to be my boyfriend." Noah gets upset and Poon finally tells him what's up. His father wants him to start seeing his friend's daughter, and he doesn't really want to. He explains that his little sister Pang likes to read a lot of BL manga and series, and if Poon can find a boyfriend to live out her weird fantasies, she's gonna help him get their father to stop setting him up with the friend's daughter. Noah jumps in, questions why it has to be him and that there are plenty of other guys like that. Poon, smooth talking, says that it would just be easier if my boyfriend is cute. Noah asks, "Is it my fault that I was born with red lips and milky skin? I get that, but this is goddamn absurd." Noah suggests that other options, like even one of their friends or another one of the dolls from the Angel Club, but they don't think that that's the move either. Poon promises that he'll get the money for the club and that it's a win-win because they both get what they want, but unfortunately, nah, he doesn't really get much time to choose or grasp anything when Pang comes downstairs and asks about who he is. Poon explains that Noah is a friend who came to see him and that Pang actually asked to see him herself since she wanted to meet his boyfriend. Now with Calm, he sees some kids outside playing soccer and joins them. He unintentionally starts some beef between the littles about how cute their girlfriends are, and they clock his tea when they tell Calm that he needs to get a girlfriend so that he's not lonely anymore. When he gets home, one of his caretakers, who I'm gonna assume is auntie and uncle, ask about why he's home so late and they question him about school. They seem very worried about the time that he's coming back home. When he gets back to his room, he puts G's Facebook in and he calls his dad. At Poon's, Na and Poon sit very close together and Na is trying to move away, but Poon just keeps moving closer. Poon says that Na needs to stop acting this way so that they can make it believable that they are dating. Pang comes in with a tray of snacks and starts to take pictures as them as Poon tries to feed Na. Pang mentions how Na is gonna get home and Na takes this as a cue for him to try and get up out of there, but Pang refuses to let him and tells him to stay at the house. Without being able to come up with another excuse, Na ends up staying. He takes a shower and changes into Poon's clothes, and when he comes out, Poon is cleaning up. They bond over some books and movies, not even asking if he would like to go and see the sequel of one of the movies at the theater, but he instantly regrets what he asked after he realizes that Poon is really serious. Na starts to play some games and Poon heads out of the room to be met with his sister who's eavesdropping. They go into her room and she tells Poon that he's glad that he broke up with AIM and that she's really not a good person. Poon is a little perturbed by this, and when she starts talking about Noah, it gets a little down, but she promises that she will talk to her dad about the arrangement. Poon goes back to his room and it's time to head to bed, but when the lights go off and they're both tucked in, Poon gets some sort of spider sense and rolls over onto Noah when Pang walks into the room. That is episode 2. So with episode 2, I can definitely say it definitely upped the ante a little. I really like this episode much more. We definitely got to see a lot more of the dynamics between each character's situation. I'm very interested though in seeing what's going on with Mo. What's going on with her is quite interesting. This toxic boyfriend thing with also the golf. Also I found out, I looked it up on my drama list. Apparently her boyfriend's name is Moan, which Moan, which is just funny to me. It's just funny to me. But I'm very interested in seeing, like, is she gonna end up with golf? Like, is that a thing? But it did kind of throw me off when he said that I might as well just like guys. That kind of threw me off just a little bit, but I think that they may be like onto something there. Other than that, I really like this Calm and G situation. I love that they're both kind of like not the odd ones out of their group, but they just like, I don't know how to explain it, but they seem right. They seem right together. So I'm very interested to see what's going on there. Obviously with our main boys, it's very interesting. I do not remember their whole relationship being like a fake relationship thing. I don't think I remembered that. To be fair, I don't think I remembered like the main premise. I don't think I remember like the main premise of this show. I just remember like the little things, and like I definitely remember that scene with them like outside at the pool area. Like when I think about this show, like I specifically think about that house. I think maybe it's because it was the first time that I had ever seen like a Thai house and just how like big and grand it looked. So maybe that's why that's like engraved into my mind when I think about this show. But yeah, I really like this episode a lot better than the first episode. I could understand why people would kind of be like a little turned off by episode 1, because it kind of first of all, the first episode kind of takes place in that club, like the party is a lot. It kind of reminds me of the first episode of You're My Sky, where the first episode of You're My Sky, you're just in that college, like the college commons or whatever the entire time. It does a couple of flashbacks, but we're pretty much there the entire time. But which that intro is beautiful. I love the You're My Sky first episode. It was just so tea. Like I remember watching that as it came out and like on time, like scheduled. It was great. I was so hyped, but I was so mad I was have to wait a whole nother week just to watch it. Which that's actually one of my favorite BLs, Thai BLs. So we're definitely gonna cover it on this channel. But yeah, so it kind of reminded me of that, just kind of where we're stuck in this one area and we're kind of seeing the different dynamics between each person. So I found that really interesting. And yeah, that was episode 2. If you guys enjoyed this recap of Lovesick, go ahead and give me a like. Comment down below how you're feeling, what other TV shows or movies you want me to cover, and subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!